One thing that's kind of nerve-wracking about having a lot of credit cards is the annual fees that I pay every single month are really, really high now. Like, I'm spending almost an entire paycheck just on annual fees alone.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be talking about crazy credit card fees. Okay, so credit card promises convenience, rewards, and flexibility, but what they do not advertise are the crazy hidden fees. Beyond the annual fees, many cards hit you with late fees, foreign transaction fees, balance transfer fees, cash advance fees, over limit fees, and more, you name it. It's those by 1,000 cuts. Even a small mistake can cost you $30 to $50 or more. Some cards charge 3% just to use your own credit abroad, while others hit you with sneaky processing fees for transfers and interest rates on top, and you're looking at a system designed to profit off you everyday spending. The fine print is packed with traps that banks hope you'll never notice until it's too late. People are starting to ask, is it really worth it? The credit card industry has turned fees into a business model, and consumers are paying the price. It's time to get informed, read the fine print, and stop letting these fees drain your wallet. So guys, let's dive into the video and watch.
If you're signing up for a bunch of credit cards and you're getting a lot of travel points, how often should you be canceling those credit cards after you get all the value from them? And the answer is as little as possible. And the reason is because your credit score. The more often you cancel a card, the more negatively it can affect your credit score. But if you can find a way to keep the account open without having to pay the annual fees, then you can keep your credit score a lot higher. The more open credit reports basically you have, the more credit cards you have open, the better credit score as long as you're using them responsibly. And the way that you get around that is by a lot of these travel credit cards also have free versions of those cards. So for the Capital One Venture, there's the Capital One Rewards. For the Chase Sapphire Preferred, there's the Chase Freedom Flex, stuff like that. All you have to do is downgrade to those free versions and you can get to keep the card, keep the points, but you also don't have to pay an annual fee anymore. Now, obviously there are some cards that aren't like that. If they don't have a downgrade path and you can't get a free version of the card down the road, you can call, ask if you have a retention offer if you are looking to cancel. Sometimes they'll offer you a bonus to keep the card. If not, then I would say cancel it if it's not getting you value anymore. And the hit on the credit score is only temporary from canceling a card. You'll get it back pretty quick. But yeah, that's how everyone that is running a bunch of different credit cards, that's how I do it. That's how a lot of them are doing it.
People care way too much about how much money they spend on credit card annual fees. I literally spend almost $1,700 every single year, and it is 100% worth it. I work a corporate 9-to-5 job, and I do a little bit of TikTok on the side as well, and I have traveled more this year than I ever have any other year, and I've saved over $10,000 just by using credit card points to book hotels and flights. My girlfriend and I are going to Europe for 12 days in October, and we're booking the entire thing on credit card points. We would have spent almost $10,000 for hotels and flights, but it's completely free thanks to credit cards. Honestly, it's amazing to me that you can look at any credit card with an annual fee and immediately reject it without looking at the different benefits that come with the card that could make it well worth your while. So if you want to learn how annual fee credit cards can actually be used to your advantage, then make sure you're following along.
Yes, I do have these 4 MS cards with pretty hefty annual fees, so let me walk through how I make each one worth it. The key to justifying any annual fee is to only factor in the credits or perks that you would have already spent money on. So we'll start off with the Platinum card because this one has the $6.95 annual fee. So there are 3 things on this list of credits that I already spent my money on before I was getting this card. The $200 airline fee credit because I travel for work, so I check bags and whatnot. The $200 Uber cash credit because I order Uber Eats all the time. And the $240 entertainment credit for streaming services. That already brings us up to $640 that I was already spending that this card includes. There's a $200 hotel credit that I have taken advantage of, but I wasn't planning on, so that was a nice bonus. I would have never bought Clear at the airport for $199, but it is nice to have now that I have it. And I would have never bought Walmart Plus, but I live in Vermont, and so Amazon takes like a week up here where Walmart will come the next day, so it's been great to have. Now with the gold card, this one is a no-brainer for me. Like I said, I order a lot of Uber Eats, so we got $20 a month in Uber Eats, we get $20 a month on Grubhub, and we get $7 a month on Dunkin', which I am currently drinking right now because I live in New England and I drink it multiple times a week. There's also a Resi credit on this card, which I wasn't planning on using, but I ended up booking at a Resi restaurant and I got that Resi credit back. So those things are just like a surprise and delight when they happen. For the Delta Reserve, what makes this card worth it is the companion pass. So if you travel with a companion, for me, it's my partner, you can basically buy one, get one on a first class ticket. I believe this must be used domestically, but we have family across the country. So it's, to be honest, a no-brainer that we'll be traveling together at least once a year, but we definitely travel together more than that. And that is how this card is justifiable. However, I pretty much mostly only fly Delta anyways, and I like to sit towards the front of the plane, so any upgrades or whatnot like that is great with this card too. But in terms of like lounge access and like airline credits, like I could be getting those on the Platinum. But the companion pass is how I justify this card. And then lastly, my business goals, I'm going to be so honest and real with you. I just write the annual fee off on my taxes because you can. That is literally how I justify this card. I spend a lot of money at Apple. I buy the new iPhone every single year. I just bought a new MacBook. Like, I love tech, and that is mostly what I spend money on is equipment because I work in social media. So that to me makes the 4x back on those thousands and thousands of dollars very worth it to hold this card. And it just earns so flexibly. There's many different categories this card can earn on. So I just take that $375 and we write off the annual fee. And that is how I justify 4 Amex annual
Welcome
fees.
to Chase. My name is Natalie. Can I have your first and last name?
Hi, this is also Natalie.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much, Ms. Fisher. How can I help you today?
I would like to downgrade my Chase Sapphire Preferred card to the Chase Freedom Unlimited card.
Sure. Let me see what I can do to help you on downgrading your card, ma'am. Let me just check if this is already eligible for a product change. I'll be reading some disclosures to you to complete the process, okay? Do I have your permission to continue?
Yes.
Thank you, Natalie. So your request for a product change is not eligible for a new card member bonus. That offer is only available for new credit applications. Any promotional balances attached to the old account will transfer to your new account based on terms of the original promotion. If you currently have a flexible financing balance on your account like My Chase Plan or My Chase Loan, it will remain under the same terms and conditions with your new product. New flexible financing offers may not always be available. If your annual membership fee or foreign transaction fee is changing, you will receive a letter in the mail or an electronic notice on chase.com explaining the changes and your right to reject them. Finally, please reconfirm that we are changing from the Sapphire Preferred card to the Chase Freedom Unlimited card.
Yes, I confirm.
So your request is now processed, and just keep an eye on the new card in the mail.
Can't believe it is taking me this long to realize you can negotiate your credit card's annual fees. Yes, I recently did this with my Marriott Bonvoy card from American Express. Now, American Express is notorious for never waiving these fees, and that's what I learned, but you can often get other bonuses if you're willing to stay with the card. You're here in this call with an American Express customer service rep, and I was able to get 10,000 Marriott points for spending $1,000 in the next 3 months.
Thank you so much for calling American Express. You're speaking with Alex. May I please have your name?
Hi, this is Jim.
Okay, how may I be of assistance with your Bonvoy Amex card?
I just had the annual fee charge, and I don't really use the card often. Is it possible to get that waived?
I'll be very honest with you. Any sort of annual fee for the card, it's non-negotiable. Unfortunately, we cannot go ahead and waive that off.
Something that I've seen is people can get like bonus points if they spend on the card. Is that something that's possible?
That will be dependent upon any sort of promotional offer that you would have on the card. At this present moment, I'm not able to see any sort of promo offer that earns you additional bonus points.
Cancel it. Can I get the fee refunded?
In that scenario, yes. Because if you were within the first 30 days of canceling the card, then yes. Do you want to go ahead and cancel the card right now?
Yeah, I think so.
I certainly understand. Well, any sort of closures is processed from our accounts team. I would need to go ahead and speak with them. Would you mind if I put you on hold for just a minute or two?
Sure, no problem.
Few moments later.
Over to you, Hector.
All right, thank you for that, colleague. Hey, the tech account manager, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
This is Jim.
Getting your details here, Jim, and I see you've been a loyal card member with us for 24 years. Thank you for that. Love to see it. colleague inform me you were looking to close the account today?
Yeah, I don't use the card much, and the annual fees, we can't do anything about it. It doesn't make sense to keep paying for it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I can definitely understand your concern there. I know whenever you see an annual fee, it has to make sense for you. What I can do today, Jim, because you've kept this account in such a pristine status and you've done some amazing things over the life of it, I can provide some additional value in one of two ways, and you tell me which way may be better suited. I can bring forth an additional 10,000 Marriott points or a $25 statement credit, as long as for either option you spend at least $1,000 in the next 3 months.
As you can see, the call is really easy. I tried to get them to waive it. I tried to get them to give me a promotion, but the normal service rep wasn't able to do it. It was only until after I canceled or threatened to cancel that they sent me to someone who had a little bit more power to give me a bonus. Give this a try. You have to wait until your annual fee hits and then you call them up. And you can always cancel. And if you cancel within 30 days of the fee hitting, they'll refund you the money. Give this a try and let me know how it goes. Talk to you soon.
About credit card processing fees. Hey, I'm Alex, I'm a licensed clinical social worker here in the state of Texas, and I talk all things private practice. Last week, or over this weekend, I forgot when it was, I did a video on credit card processing fees and the fact that my son's therapist charges a little extra on top of my copay to cover that, and people felt all kinds of ways on whether or not this is ethical or not, and I have my own feelings, but I wanted to share how much I'm paying. Now, disclaimer, I will say I am using platforms to do my billing, so most of the time I'm not paying this on like copays. So if you're independently credentialed and doing your own billing, I recognize you're going to pay way more than this, but I just wanted to share what I'm paying for anyone that credit card processing fees makes you nervous. So I pay it on anyone that I bill through Stripe. That's like all my coaching clients, anyone who does no-show, late cancel, or self-pay. So anything like that. So that's not insurance-based. I will pay a credit card processing fee on any of the platforms I'm using. It's usually about 3%. So I did a deep dive and I wrote it all down with how much I'm paying. I did all the math, so I felt like I'd share. So for January, I paid $27.18 in credit card processing fees. For the month of February, I did $23.97. For the month of March, $19.71. And for the month of April, it will be $20.88. So all said and done, I pay about $20 to $30 a month on credit card processing fees, just based off of this year's stats in terms of like who's no showing, late canceling, and the self-pay clients that I do have. So hopefully that helps. If you've ever felt nervous about this, don't be alarmed, and remember to write it off on your taxes.
I paid $23,000 on my Amex credit card bill, and I must say nothing can prepare you for the increase in charges and how crazy the amount will be on your credit card statement as you continue to level up as an entrepreneur. It is actually quite scary seeing the charges dramatically increase over a very small time frame. As you start to scale a business, naturally your expenses increase as well. I just want to reiterate, it is super important to budget and know where all your finances are coming from, expenses, P&L, all that stuff. Because if you're like me, you have expenses on this credit card, on that credit card. You have income being held by TikTok Shop, and some here, some there. And it's very hard to keep track of how much you actually have and your P&L at the end of the month. And scaling and spending more is a very crucial piece of building a business, obviously. But I have to say, the reason why 95% of businesses fail is because they overspend and scale too quickly. So you have to make sure you have a very close eye on how much you're spending to make sure you have enough capital to pay off your card the following month. I'm very interested to see what the amount is next month. I think we're going to push like 30, 35, maybe then 50. Scary to say, very scary to say, and the payments always hurt, but it's part of the process.
Relax, guys, and let's...
Can you explain why some credit cards have annual fees in 30 seconds?
Sure. So you could think of an annual fee as a membership of sorts. So basically, the more that you pay in annual fees, the more premium benefits you typically get. So your membership could get you airport lounge access, hotel free night certificates, automatic elite status, travel and shopping protections, and a lot more perks.
I left the gym in embarrassment. You have no idea. So all the machines were used up. I don't know what the fuck is going on. All the machines are used up, and me myself, I know I have no balance. No balance. That little Smith machine thing where I can't do it. I have no balance. It tilts one way. Regardless if there's weight on it or not. I was like, let me try with no weights. Okay, I'm doing pretty good, and then. I was like, okay, you know what, just let me stop. Let me stop because the guy behind me just chuckled. And I don't know if that was at me or not. But he got weights on his stack, so I don't. So let me not even start nothing, Then I moved over to the dumbbells. I did one set of like the fucking shoulder raiser shit or whatever because the machine was taken. When I tell you, bitch, I can even lift 15 pounds. Like, I was embarrassed. Now I gotta blow up the gym. Like,
this video is for the veterans that got out of the military and applied for a bunch of credit cards while they were in because they waived the annual fee. And now that they out, I got a quick question. Do they charge you the annual fee once you're out? Or they wait like a couple of years to start charging you that? Because I'm not gonna lie, I did apply to all of them. I got the Amex Platinum, the Gold, the Capital One, the Chase, all of the Gucci cards that we do have access to them for free. I have them. And now that I'm getting out, I don't know when they're gonna start charging that, but that's gonna be over $4,000 a year. Just curious. If you're a veteran that did the same thing that I did they charge you all that as soon as you got out, or they waited a little bit? Or they just completely waived?
What's kind of nerve-wracking about having a lot of credit cards is the annual fees that I pay every single month are really, really high now. Like, I'm spending almost an entire paycheck just on annual fees alone. And it makes me think, obviously, there's a good reason for that. I'm getting a lot of benefits from every single credit card I have. I have 8 right now, going on 9. But at the same time, it seems kind of unsustainable to me. Like, I know I'm going to cancel a couple of different credit cards at one point, but I know people, like some of my friends on here, that have like 30 plus credit cards. And I know they've canceled some of them, but it makes me think, how much do you guys pay in annual fees for your credit cards? Especially if you have like 20, 30 plus, let me know down in the comments below, because I don't think I'll ever be paying any more than like $2,000-3,000 in annual fees. It just doesn't make sense in the long term. But anyway, I might have to readjust my strategy. Just something I was thinking about.
This year I'm going to pay over $7,000 in annual fees, but let me break down my most expensive card for you and show you why I'm still coming out ahead. Let's break down the American Express Business Platinum card. The Biz Plat does have a $695 annual fee, which is really steep, but that is offset by some credits. And if you sign up for the credit cards at just the right time, you can triple dip these benefits. So you can get 3 times the credits for just 1 annual fee. I signed up for this credit card in December, so I am eligible for the triple dip. One of the benefits that come with the card, and probably my favorite, is the airline incidental credits. That's $200 every year. And because I'm doing the triple dip, I'm going to get 3 times that amount for $600. Just with that, I'm almost covering the entire annual fee. Next is a $200 Dell credit that you get every 6 months. Now, I'm a Mac person myself, but there are some other interesting items that Dell does sell on their website. So I'll get $800 worth of credits for that single annual fee. And I'll either buy stuff to resell or use at home. Next is a $200 Clear credit. I'm not the biggest fan of Clear. It hasn't really come in handy for me, but it may come in handy in the future. New for 2024 is a $50 Hilton credit that you get every quarter. Because I'm doing the triple dip, I'll be able to get 6 quarters worth. So that is a total of $300. In credits alone, in the first year, you're going to be up $1,200. That's even taking into consideration the annual fee. In addition, you're going to get 250,000 bonus points, which is worth at a bare minimum $2,500 for a net of $3,700 in the first year with just 1 annual fee. For this example, I tried to keep it simple and have all credits equaling the face value. For each person, you really need to do this calculation individually based on how you value each credit. For example, I value the Clear credits very low, maybe at $50 a piece. But because I know I'm going to fly a lot, I value the airline credit as basically cash. Let me know if you agree and which card I should break down next.
$17,000 on my credit card bill, and American Express charged me $400 of interest, and I was able to call them up and ask them to forgive the interest, and they did. So here's what happened. So I had this $17,000 credit card bill. Very expensive month. I bought a lot of business things, and then I checked my bank account and I realized I only have $15,000 in there. The rest of my money I have sitting in Robinhood because I collect 5% interest. So I was like, oh man, I got to transfer back, a couple thousands to cover this bill. But what I didn't realize is the due date was right then. So I paid the minimum amount due, but I still carried, a $16,000 balance past the due date. And what I didn't realize is that if you're like 1 day after the due date, they charge you interest on the whole balance from the beginning of when you spent that money. So if you spent $3,000 on the first day of the month, they're going to charge you interest for that entire time, just 1 day being late after that. So I didn't realize this, and I'm like, oh crap. So I decided, why don't I just call American Express and see if they'll forgive this interest. This is the first time I've ever been over and not paid off my bill entirely right off the bat. So I called them and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this is how your interest works here. I've never carried a balance.
Can we just forgive this? Can we forgive this interest for this one time? I didn't think it would work, but I talked to a higher up, their supervisor, and they said, okay, just because this is the first time it's ever happened, you've been a good customer, we will forgive this interest charge. So I was like, sweet! So I literally just saved myself $400. It was entirely my fault, entirely my mistake, but still, I saved myself $400 just because I tried. I asked, all right? There is nothing wrong with asking, trying to bend the rules. Sometimes it might just work in your favor, and it took me, 10 minutes on the phone. So the moral of the story is it doesn't hurt to ask. And make sure you don't put too much of your money in your high yield savings account. Keep some in your checking to make sure your cash flows are not going to go negative.
Thanks a ton for watching. I really appreciate all the likes, shares, and everyone who subscribed. Seriously helps the channel grows. If you're new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I've got more videos coming your way soon. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.